Hi there, and welcome to the fourth episode of Digital Soapbox with me, Daniel Riccardo, and on behalf of Strategy Plus. Today, I thought we'd show Google a bit of love and just show you probably the 9 best tools, free tools that they have available to help your life a little bit easier and help your business get ahead of the game, shall we say. So the first one is thinkwithgoogle.com. And this is all about getting the latest insights into your industry and how it's relevant to digital marketing. So let's say you're generating an app or some kind of trying to monetize a website or something like that. They've got a load of insights, data, and interesting, useful pieces of content for it. So once you subscribe to this, it'll ask you what industry you're interested in, what kind of information you're interested in, and it will deliver up content that I think would be suitable to you. So there's a huge amount of information that would be of some use. I mean, you can spend all day on this, really. So it's probably useful for marketeers, business owners, entrepreneurs, these kind of people that want to stay ahead of the game. So that's all free to use. So I suggest subscribing to that and taking a look from day to day. One of these things is a little bit technical, probably to do with search engine optimization, is a structured data testing tool. Just to, if you're not developing yourself, it's just making sure that maybe your SEO guy is doing as much as he can do. So this is about structured data. It's about ensuring that Google finds, has a good understanding, easy understanding of what your website's all about, and produces the right kind of a rich snippet or information on when you're found in Google, it's showing the right information. So obviously you can give the right information to them, and you just simply put the URL in there, and it will tell you what it finds, if there's any errors and all the rest of it. So that's a nice, easy one. And that is, if you just search for structured data testing tool Google, you should find that. And I don't believe you need to sign in or anything like that. It's a free, unregistered tool to use. Next one is Google Alerts. Hopefully people have started to use this already. So it's like in the old, people used to use RSS feeds if they wanted to stay up to date with certain blogs or news feeds. Well, this is kind of the ultimate. This is taking all the information from Google. So if you wanted to look at sort of news articles related to a certain subject matter in a certain region, and you wanted it delivered to you, say, every week or every day or every month, then obviously Google can do that. It will send you an email with the latest and best pieces of content that's been found in Google that is relevant to your specifications here. So I suggest setting loads of those up if you like. The term could be accounting, and obviously make sure that these are accurate words. So if it's a phrase, making sure that it's exactly that phrase that you're looking for, but by putting quotation marks over it, rather than if I just put, say, Strategy Plus, it might just find one of those words and put it in there. So you want the whole phrase in there to make sure it's an exact phrase. Next one is Blogger. Everybody should be blogging now. You should have a blog on your own website. But Blogger is actually is a Google product now, and is another platform where you can put your content on and create inbound links onto your website. So it's another platform where you can have a presence and generate content, maybe in a different format from your corporate website, and to ensure that you have inbound links coming to your website. I just set up that within 10 minutes. So that's just an example of what you can do. You've got videos on there and all the rest of it, and you can sort of design it, and you can have your own domain name that points to it. So that's dead easy to do. It takes 10 minutes, and submit some content there on a regular basis. Next one is Keyword Plan or Keyword Planner, part of the Google AdWords campaign. Now this is free, however you do need to have an active credit card or debit card on the account so that it starts to present accurate data. If you don't have an active card, these figures here will be rounded up to sort of 1 to 1,000 or 1,000 to 10,000, something like that. So it's not that accurate if you don't have an active account on there. So I've just put in a few different search terms: digital marketing, online marketing, internet marketing. If I wasn't sure which term I should be sort of optimizing my website for, maybe, then obviously I just put them into here. Then also specify the location. I put West Midlands, okay, because that's the target audience that I might be interested in. And then it delivers an amount of average searches per month, and it kind of gives you a graph on over the year, the kind of ups and downs of popularity over the years. So if you're maybe a florist or a wedding planner and all the rest of it, you should see hopefully seasonal trends as it's shown here. If you did want to go down the pay-per-click route, these are the kind of cost per clicks you would be looking at, which is quite expensive, really. And then it'll give you other suggested ideas. So it really gives you a good understanding of what people are searching for and how popular they are. And this will help you with your search engine optimization strategy. Now, once you've done all this sort of digital marketing and you're getting traffic through to your website, analytics is massively important and completely underestimated and underused by most people. And even if people do look at it, I'm not sure whether they use it properly. So there's a couple of key things that you need to do to make sure that your data is accurate and it's worthwhile even looking at. So trying to filter the data that's going into your analytics, making sure that you're not including bots and spam, people trying to sell you stuff from out of Mongolia. So you can easily filter the traffic to ensure that it's only the traffic from the region that you're interested in. So let's just say I'm only doing business in the UK with UK businesses. I don't really need to see the data that's coming from Russia, India, and America and all the rest of it. So I would create a filtered version of this, which is just basically including UK data. Second thing is to set up goals, which is really important. And pretty much any website on the planet has some form of goal, whether that's a contact form, a shopping basket, a booking form, download, whatever it may be. You've got to have all these set up. So you've got to keep. There's all well and good if you can see ever increasing traffic and page views on your website, but ultimately you want to see some sort of action at the end of it. So set up those goals. You can do that using smart goals on further down here. If I move my head, you can set it up in sort of the admin area, go into goals. It's relatively simple. Or you can also do smart goals using Google Tag Manager events. So for example, if you're not using a thank you page, a different URL for when the action is completed, it's just maybe a tab or something, then you can create events instead and use that using Google Tag Manager. So then you can see all the traffic, where it's coming from, page sessions, bounce rates, conversions per source. So you know what form of traffic is actually producing the most conversions. And you can see if you are spending money on SEO, if you're spending it on social, email, or what have you, not only is it driving traffic, but how many conversions is it providing at the end of it? How much, especially with e-commerce, it's a no-brainer that you need to know that. You can also interact or integrate your Google Ad campaign if you do have a Google Ad campaign, and also your Search Console, which is something we're going to have a look at now, Google Search Console. This shows you a couple of things. So link building, for people that are into SEO will know, is a big thing. And this shows you the links that are found by Google. So you might use Moz and all the other sort of tools out there about inbound links, but really, the only person you should be listening to is Google, because Google is the person that ranks you. So these are the links that they find, how many and all the rest of it, which pages they're linking to. So again, this is a free tool. Google is actually providing a lot of information that these SEO tools are offering. So Moz, SEMrush, and all the rest of it, SERPstat. Whether they're going to become redundant, I'm not sure. But Google tells you whether or not you've had any penalties put against you, if there's any call errors, and all the rest of it, your inbound links, search queries that you're being found for, everything really, most of what is needed. So sometimes if you're spending sort of $100 or something a month on Moz, you might be able to get sort of the vast majority, all the important data and information from Google Search Console. And this is where the sort of search queries that you're being found for. Okay, and nearly getting to the end now. So Google Trends is another one that you should have used. This kind of shows if you're maybe just trying to review where you're at, and maybe you've seen business or traffic go up, go down, different services, maybe you're launching a new product, and you're just wondering whether or not the market is ready for it and how it's going. You can put all the different search terms for a particular product or service or industry, whatever it may be, into here, specify the region, the length of time that you want to analyze, and it will show you a graph of kind of popularity over time. So you can see how digital marketing has become ever sort of increasingly popular since sort of 2012 onwards. So before that, we were sort of optimizing ourselves for online marketing, which was the most popular. But as you can see, if we continued that way, we'd be missing out on a lot of business. So Google Trends is very important. And it also gives you sort of suggested related queries as well that you might not have thought of. So that's good for market research. Last but not least is Google Business Pages, or Google My Business. So this is just kind of back end of it. You've probably seen it on the front end when you search for something and Google thinks it's locally specific, and it will bring up certain businesses on the map with the amount of reviews and all the rest of it, and people click on it, they can find a bit more information, sort of images, maybe posts, and all the rest of it. And again, this is sometimes underused by people, especially if they're looking for people in and around the area. And this is the back end where it gives you lots of insights. You can sort of manage reviews and messages and all the rest of it. So Google is constantly sort of developing this further and further. So I suggest you try and stay on top of this and make sure that your profile is as complete as it should be. So those are 9 free tools by Google that you should be using as much as you can. So I hope that you found this useful, and we'll see you next time.